If it does not say fucking Battletech, I will be mad. That says Battletech. It is time. Oh, whoop. Hit the wrong button there. Here we go. Alright, let's see what kind of banners we've got. That it is! So it's a little... Oh, wait. Does that... Nope. Can't really customize the crest, so got... What I see is what I get. I'll stick with that. It's a nice, humble little crest. That's smooth as butter. Just making sure of one other thing. Rightio. Just gonna make sure my options are nice. Those look nice. Got it. There's no borderless window. Up the gamma a little bit, admittedly. Blocked player list. Here we go. Come on, Battletech. There we go. Holy shit, that loading bar. What is going on with the loading bar? Yeah, no kidding, gotta go fast. Are you having a bit of a conniption there, loading bar? There we go.
I am Kamea of House Arano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromedir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less. A hero would have done better. You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times. About the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Well, I'm not speaking right now. What do you mean you can barely hear the game? Am I having sound issues? Again? Yeah, usually I'm used to having the audio a bit lower. I'll bump it up to 9 dB. I'm used to the game volume overpowering me. Here we go. 7.5 down dB. How does that sound? Okie doke. Welcome to the Oregon Reach. The Oregon Reach is a small kingdom in the Rimworld periphery, a region of space that lies at the outskirts of the more densely colonized Inner Sphere. It is home to the Oregon Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarchy and ruled by the Arano family. For 3 generations under the rule of House Arano, the Oregon Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here your story begins. The periphery is a region of space surrounding the Inner Sphere. The area directly opposite a galactic core is known as the Rimworld Periphery. The Rimworld Periphery is home to major states such as the Magistry of Canopus, the Turian Concordat, and the Oregon Coalition, as well as a large number of independent worlds. The Inner Sphere. The Inner Sphere is the region of space within about 500 light-years of Terra. The sphere is divided between the 5 successor states to the former Star League, The region is the heart of human civilization and culture. Beyond the inner sphere is the periphery. The Urugan Coalition is an interstellar state in the Urugan Reach area of the Rimworld periphery bordering both Capellian and Taurian space. Growing out of a trade partnership in the mid-29th century, the Urugan Coalition was formally established in 2910 by High Lady Kiana Arano. In the past 100 years, the coalition has grown from 4 systems to a total of 23. House Arano. Foresight and Vision, the hereditary leaders of the Urugan Coalition, currently led by Lady Camilla Arano. The Arano House sigil is a great concordant on a field of red. The ancestral seat of House Arano is Cordomir 4. That's 6. I'm bad. From the early days of the Rimworld Trade Partnership and the founding of the Urugan Coalition in 2910, throughout the current day, House Arano has led the systems of the Urugan Reach. For 3 generations under the rule of House Arano, the Urugan Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here our story begins. Decades ago, your family came from the Draconis Combine, the Free Worlds League, the Federated Suns, the Lyrian Commonwealth, the Capellian Federation, the Magistry of Canopus, the Turian Concordat, the Rimworld Periphery, and the Deep Periphery. Now, to be quite honest, I could read off all of these and make strategic decisions, but quite honestly, I was introduced to Battletech through MechWarrior 4. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with good old House Davian. Mech warriors who hail from the Federated Suns tend to possess more finely honed skills and better equipment than their counterparts from other regions of space. They often see themselves as righteous warriors and champions of liberty, sometimes to a fault. Though nearly extinguished by the Draconis Combine in the First Succession War, the Federated Suns, a constitutional monarchy ruled by the renowned House Davian, has become arguably the most powerful of the 5 great successor states. Though skillful military campaigns and subtle diplomacy, House Davian has significantly increased the number of star systems in its control in the last 2 centuries. What, are the Federated Suns the author's pet of the universe? Because god damn it. I just like them because they were in MechWarrior 4! Federated Suns. The Federated Suns is one of the 5 successor states of the Star League, located in Rimworld and Spinworld of Terra. Ruled by House Davian, the Federation is the most powerful of the 5. The people of the Federation pride themselves on their self-proclaimed role as defenders of liberty and justice. The Federation is quite capable of ruthless, decisive action, though, and its idealism readily gives way to pragmatism when called for. The current ruler of the Federation, Prince Hans Davian, is an experienced and unconventional military commander. The Federation's alliance with the Lyrian Commonwealth effectively ended the Third Succession War. Draconis Combine is one of the 5 successor states, located in Core World and Spinworld of Terra. Ruled by House Kurita, the Combine has always been aggressively expansionist. The head of the Combine was the first of the Council Lords to declare himself the new ruler of the collapsing Star League. Regularly in conflicts with borders from all of its neighbors, the Combine is a highly structured militaristic society, with rulership in the hands of the Coordinator, the Commander-in-Chief of the Draconis military. The Combine's culture is heavily influenced by the Japanese roots of the ruling family, despite minority status with those of Japanese ancestry, as this cultural heritage is imposed from above by the predominantly Japanese ruling class. The current leader of the Combine is Coordinator Takashi Katura. Yeah, that makes sense to me. The First Succession War, a brutal conflict that ravaged the Inner Sphere from 2786 to 2821, when Minoru Kurita declared himself the first new Lord of the Star League. Leaders from the other great houses followed suit, becoming known as Successor Lords. The First Succession War was notable for the devastating effect it had on the Inner Sphere's infrastructure and technology base. Much what was not lost has not been regained in the intervening centuries. Well, I'm a Federated son. I served, well, Ian Davian back in the day, and now I'm Ian Davian. Huh. Though immigrants to the Arugan reach, your family soon established a comfortable presence in a small backwater system on the edge of Arugan space. By the time you were born, your family had become the de facto ruling nobility of the system's only inhabited planet. You were the oldest child, heir to the family's titles and the ancestral Battletech, an old blackjack BJ-1. Battletech, commonly abbreviated as mech. Mechs are enormous armored fighting vehicles. Often humanoid in design, they can weigh up to 100 tons. They are considered the most powerful and deadly surface units a military force can field. Battlemechs are classed as light, 25 to 35, medium, 40 to 55, heavy, 60 to 75, or assault, 80 plus tons. Because of their incredible power requirements, many mechs generate ferocious amounts of waste heat, making mech pilot cockpits swelteringly hot and sometimes threatening to cause a complete system shutdown. Hey, Sunwolf! Blackjack BJ-1. Blackjack BJ-1 is equipped for both long and close-range engagements. A pair of autocannon 2s, backed up by 4 medium lasers, lending the mech a powerful alpha strike, while jump jets enable the Blackjack to move with high ground at a moment's notice. This is where you met Raju Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of the Succession Wars, whom your parents hired on for a season to train you as a mech warrior. Raju is a battle-scarred mech warrior of nearly 40 years of combat experience. In addition to mercenary work, Mastiff has served as Master of Arms for a number of noble houses, training their scions in the art of war. The ladies Camilla Arano and Victoria Esponia have both benefited from his training. A mech warrior. Someone who pilots a battle mech is called a mech warrior. They typically serve in armies of the successor states or in mercenary units. During the Succession Wars, many mech warriors owned their own mechs and passed them down through the generations as family heirlooms. Raju was a strict but capable teacher, and you quickly became a skilled pilot under his tutelage. It was an uneventful life until the day after your 16th birthday, when... Alright, so we were either exiled, we struck out on our own, the family went bankrupt, our family died in an accident, or the family was betrayed. Alright, so what are the stats? Gunnery. Gunnery determines the chance to hit with ranged weaponry. Higher skill is an effective counter to evasion and environmental effects that hamper targeting. Guts. Guts improves the maximum health of mech warriors. It also reduces penalty from weapon recoil and increases the threshold of heat that triggers overheated. Piloting. Piloting increases melee hit chance and base sprint distance. It also improves the threshold of stability that triggers unsteady and increases the maximum level of evasion possible from movement. Tactics. Tactics increases the effectiveness of called shot opportunities. It also reduces the penalty for indirect fire and improves the minimum range of weaponry. I either go for stats or I go for something. You know what? Yeah. Did we strike out on our own? And hey, I'm willing to take some suggestions on this one. Honestly, it seems like a good compromise that we just kind of said, fuck it! Doing our own thing! It also gives me piloting and tactics. Bye, Dad! I'm taking the Battletech! Be home before 5! As the heir to a noble family, you grew up wanting for nothing, and as it turns out, you couldn't stand a life of pampered nobility. Finally, one night, you stole away with the family's ancestral blackjack and set off to find a new life to call your own. Out on your own, you fell into a life of Arugan Coalition soldier, Frontier pirate, Solaris gladiator, Inner Sphere mercenary, Frontier lancer, Merchant guard. As a soldier, we kind of just killed people. Pirate, we murdered people. Gladiator is, well, being a gladiator. Inner Sphere mercenary, Frontier freelancer. Question. Freelancer or mercenary? Oh, no, I'm House Davian. I am absolutely House Davian. That's one for freelancer. What else we got? Then again, that kind of does look like the Spear of Thracia. That's two for freelancer. Seems like majority freelancer. Mercenary is also good. But I think majority wants the freelance. You run the RimWorld periphery as a freelancer, signing on with whatever odd contracts you could find as a mech warrior for hire. It was a solitary life, but as you became more comfortable with the itinerant lifestyle, you found that you were able to make a decent living helping people of the frontier. The periphery of... oh wait, that's right. I already read that. Until years later you crossed with Raju Mastiff Montgomery once again. While running a routine patrol for a local government on the outskirts of Arugan Reach, you were set upon by pirates and left for dead. Raju happened to be visiting the capital city and picked up your distress call. Upon rescuing you, he offered you a job in the House Arano Royal Guard. So it is that you find yourself reunited with your old mentor, preparing your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Camilla Arano. Lady Camilla Arano, brave, idealistic, and determined, the Lady Camilla Arano is the daughter of the late High Lord Tamil Arano II, due to inherit the throne of the Arugan Coalition. First of all, here we go. Absolutely. Now I'm gonna customize that. Where is facial hair? There it is. I actually do have one in mind. Those look weird, I must say. I've got the biggest beard that ever could beard. Yes, my hair is just blue. That's actually an interesting way of doing things. What the hell are lips? See lighting. That'll do. There we go. The one problem with character customization is that you should not give it to someone. Because they're gonna look back and double guess all the time. Okie doke. So I effectively have a tactic score of 4. I'm all about that tactics. My gunnery score is kinda shitty. I should probably bump that up at some point. The High Lord Tamati Arano II is dead. The Arugan Reach is left at an uncertain crossroads. Once prosperous, it is now a kingdom in decline, surrounded by powerful neighbors. Lord Santiago Esponia, brother-in-law to the late High Lord, is convinced that the slow-moving Council of Funding Houses must be dissolved. His proposed directive would conscript their house guard and centralize power under a single throne. However, the High Lord's heir, the noble Lady Camilla Arano, is determined to rebuild the Reach without transforming it into an authoritarian state. She refuses to enact her uncle's directive and has rebuked his vehement pleas to reconsider. On the morning of Lady Arano's ascension to the throne, her loyal captain of the guard, Raju Mastiff Montgomery, makes preparations to escort her safely to the coronation procession that awaits in Cordia City. Hey, Patrick! Coronation Day, Arano's Summer Palace, 8:53 local time.
Command interface initiated.
Also, thank you for the host, Patrick. I just realized what you just said. Wow, I am completely stupid. Also, who just tried calling me? Ah, give it a minute. Sorry about that. The Gma needed a hand there real quick, and so I did. So this is our blackjack. Okay, I had the Esponia refit yards rush the repairs on your blackjack. Looks like it's all in one piece. We should run some diagnostics on it just to be sure. Standard field test, you know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you about the job I brought you here to do. Now do me a favor and get that battle mech moving. Let's see if there are any kinks in the actuators.
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day. There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
So movement is directly based on... yeah, these movements. Alright. Question is, how far can I tell... how far can I move, like, actually? Where's my movement stat? Or something like that. Because that shit's important, brah. And yeah, no, I've been meaning to do that. I've just been kind of shackled down with some life. I've been intending to do that for ages. I've got like 3 or 4 years of stream I need to do. Oh, I can also choose my facing too. This is important, I assume. I brought you here because there's something wrong in the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral. I've learned about Lady Kamiya's safety during our coronation procession. Anyway, looks like your actuators check out. Let's conduct a weapons test. Target one of those burnt-out urban mechs and open fire.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything. But my gut tells me something's off. And a warrior trusts their instincts.
Ah, no, it's right there. Okay. That's how much... Oh, that's evasive charges. Training target. This training target is easier to hit than enemy units in the field. Stability. Guarded. Got it, so I can't make called shots yet.
All weapons committed.
Beautiful.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Good shot. Your guns are in working order, at least. I've been training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times and proud, but I have no doubt she'll be a just and effective ruler. It's on us to see her safely to Cordia City. I'll rest easier when she's in the capital with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria. Well, she's only been training under me for a single season, but she's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Anyway, we should run a check on your targeting computer. See that drone over there? The one moving near the tree line? Put some hurt on it for me. Then when it turns, take it out with a rear angle shot. After it's down, we'll keep moving.
Kamiya's like a daughter to me. And her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
So let's see. I cannot get comfortable right now. Weak against melee. The melee does double damage against vehicles. So stomp them!
All weapons committed.
Victoria pulls no punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Kamiya since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
Pew pew!
All weapons committed. Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with Arugan politics, but the Reach was badly shaken by the High Lord Tamati's death. It needs a smooth transfer of power, and Kamiya belongs on the Cordament throne. Go ahead and fire your jump jets, kid. I want to see you descend this cliff face. Aim for that patch of ground over there, near the edge of the lake.
Engaging jump jets. Enemy detected.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Jump jets build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
Water reduces movement speed and increases a unit's heat-seeking ability by 50%. I love my old jump jets. Warning, plasma leak detected. Jump jet malfunction, jump jet systems damaged. System inoperable until repaired. Oh, for the love of all the gods, this is what I get on insisting for a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espelnia refit yards were backlogged like you wouldn't believe. Looks like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced. We're gonna have to make do without them. Go ahead and take down that mech with a melee attack. I want to be sure nothing else is gonna break down your blackjack before we take it out on the Concordat Road. Yeah, this is Battletech. We gotta manage our heat, brah. Target size. Melee attacks use the piloting skill to hit. Ignores evasive. Hit removes guarded. Deals damage and stability damage. Here we go.
Engaging physical attack.
Good hit. At least that's solid. Alright, one last test. I want you to take your blackjack up to a sprint and evade my attack.
Push that engine, kid. If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
Full throttle.
Congratulations! Your blackjack is as combat ready as it can be, given the circumstances. For what it's worth, I hope my suspicions turned out to be unfounded, and that we end the day having a good laugh about what a paranoid old man I've become. But if not, then I know that you'll be ready. Alright, it's time to move out. Lady Arano is waiting for us at the mech bay.
An impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this mech warrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
Well, yeah, I don't have arms on my, mech. I have to headbutt them because I don't have anything else. Murakage, allow me to introduce Lady Kamiya Arano, the soon-to-be High Lady of the Arugan Coalition. Is Lady Victoria on the channel? For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Pickleton docks. I have a fleet inspection, a tour of the family refit yards to preside over before the coronation. Behold the responsibilities of a noble daughter, a font of tedium that never runs dry. I know the feeling, cousin. By this time tomorrow, I'll be responsible for the entire reach. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. The gambling dens are already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity you pilot. Bold words, cousin. But the only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending the throne today, but my Kaga is more than a match for the family heirloom that you call a battle mech. And in the arena, I reign supreme. We'll see, cousin. We'll see. At any rate, I'll see you at the tourney grounds. See you at the tourney grounds. Sir Raju, I'm ready to go when you are. Overland among the Concordat Road, as is the Arano tradition. Aye, Kamiya, we'll get you there in one piece. Murakage, fall in behind me. Remember what I told you.
Mission successful.
Yay! We did the mission, guys! That's clearly the worst of what's gonna happen today.
I remember the Oregon Reach of old, the time of the Great Expansion. I was just a boy then. Proudly we went forth, bringing the light of our coalition to so many systems. And for what? To see our great kingdom slowly waste away? Year after year, the Council deliberates while our economy falters, and the wolves bay at every door, while covetous neighbors plot against us. Well, I say, it can go no further. We are here today because if Lady Arano will not act, someone must. I know what I'm asking of you. You will face former comrades, or even loved ones, on the battlefield. I take up arms against my own niece. But remember, today we sacrifice so that tomorrow we can return our kingdom to its proper glory, to its proper strength. So should you fall tonight, know that you did so as true heroes of the Reach. To your stations, for the Directorate!
Coronation Day, Cordia City outskirts, 1322 local time. Systems with no permanent population won't have items for sale, but they will have contracts available. Interesting. So there's systems that just have people come and go all the time. Are there like asteroid belts where... No, but if there's any form of infrastructure, that has to have some population. Begin the operation.
Command interface initiated.
I'm going to miss this, Raju. Clarity of purpose I feel in the cockpit of a Battletech. The simplicity of it. But there they are, just up ahead. The city gates and my future, all laid out before me. Wait, what is that smoke? A guard post, one of the small ones that dot the roads leading into the capital. The emergency band's been quiet all morning. I haven't heard anything about any fire.
This damn wood. I don't like it. Kid, keep your head on a swivel and be ready for anything.
Outside of combat, your entire lance moves in any order. You can even have multiple units moving at the same time.
You have my attention.
I'm moving.
I'm on it.
Creep up in the woods.
Roger.
Some sort of explosion. Looks recent, too. You think it was an accident? No chance. You see those scorch marks on the rubble? That's laser fire. We need to get you out of here, Kamiya. Right now. Yes, I think you're right. There's a patrol of Royal Guard mechs up ahead. We should go to them.
Whatever's happening here, I won't let it derail your coronation. Your people need you.
Thank you, Raju. I will prove myself worthy of the faith you've placed in me.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Right, I have no jump jets right now.
Talk to me.
Tell me what you need.
Moving out.
We'll cut through the tree line.
Affirmative. Confirmed. by?
How can I help?
Keep the lance tight.
Reading you loud and clear.
Copy that.
Hail, Mastiff! Hail, Lady Arano! We were preparing for Lady Arano's coronation parade when we got word of a disturbance along the Concordant Road. A guard post behind us was attacked. Sir Raju found evidence of laser fire. Is the road behind you clear? Aye, all the way to the southern gate. Lead the way, Sir Raju. We'll fall in behind you and guard your six. Tell me something, guardsman. If the road is clear, why is your battle mech damaged? Our mechs are overdue for maintenance, but that isn't important right now. We need to worry about Lady Arano's safety. Now, my lady, if you'll come with us... No, you're lying to us. It's my coronation day. No Battletech would have sent you out for parade duty in that condition. I am your sovereign, sir. You will tell me what's happened here. Damn it, girl, we don't have time for this. Take them. Kill the old man and the mech warrior, but take Lady Arano alive.
Fall back, Command. Get behind us.
You didn't train me to cower, Raju. You trained me to fight.
Safety disengaged.
That was sloppy, lad.
Alright, so who moves first? Oh, Mastiff does. So he's got the ability Sensor Lock and Multi-Target. Where's his armor? Oh, his armor is just all sorts of fucked up right now. Multi-Target 1 and 2. Oh yeah, he's gonna get dunked on. Fire at will. That wasn't the best. I can melee him. Or I can try and... Well, again, how do I do aimed shots? Because it does... Is it a special ability I have to eventually pick up, or... Alright, let's see what he's got. Ramshackle. This unit has been kept together in such poor condition that it barely holds together. It only carries 25% of the normal armor. Yeah, let's mess him up.
All weapons emitted. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
I'm listening.
We're gonna go with mobility here.
Make it happen.
And then light him up. I'll take off the LRMs because those are not very useful in this circumstance.
I'll do what you ask.
Fuck! He got destroyed!
How can I help? Aye, aye.
Like, goddamn, he got lit up. Turn off the LRMs and go nuts.
You brought this on yourself.
There goes his arm.
armor.
Ow. Minor inconvenience at worst.
Damage minimal.
Yes, I hear you. I'm on the move.
Firing at will. It's still standing?
Through the armor.
Oh, she's heat critical. Whoops. I did not know she'd overheat that fast. Yeah, let's just take him down. Take a chance to heat and cool off. Side torso destroyed, pilot injured.
I've got your back. Locked on target.
Well, okay.
Reading you loud and clear.
Yeah, I want her to just cool off for the turn.
Nice job, kid. One fewer hostile on the board.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Kamea, can you hear me? Alexander, we were just attacked. The Royal Guard, my own guardsmen, trying to take me prisoner. It's happening here too. The Royal Guard are killing one another in the halls. Lord Carosa's house guard just got gunned down in front of me. The Torny Palavan is a slaughterhouse. I won't let these seditionists, or whoever they are, steal my birthright. We need to rally every loyalist we can find and make a push on the capital. I'll take the throne by force if I must. Go to Ratura Township, to the armory. Your soldiers were using it as a rallying point. I heard Lord Decimus send his house guard there a few minutes ago. Someone's here. I have to move. Rally the forces you can and meet me in the tourney grounds. Be safe. You heard him, Mastiff. Ratura Township. We'll go there, rally our fighters, and march on the southern gate with an army at our back. Kamea, I know you and Lord Madeira are friends, but we can't take what he told you on faith. Right now we don't know who we can trust. In this case, we do. Alexander has been my closest friend and confidant for as long as I can remember. His loyalty is beyond question. I trust him with my life. And yours. Now take me to the armory. As you command, my lady.
Traitors in the guard. And I fear this is only the beginning. Follow me. Keep
Brace.
and remember your training. Things are likely to get ugly between here and there.
Holding here.
Yeah,
I'm
let's...
listening.
Now that we've effectively cooled off, where's our objective? Right, because the road over there leads into the capital proper. Alright.
Confirmed.
I'll do what you ask. We've got company.
Alright, so whenever there's a risk of any potential enemies, yeah, it gets turned into initiative
I've
order.
got your back.
We'll move into cover here. Or that doesn't work.
On my way.
This suit is not armor, though the Knights of the Round were not as well armored as we.
We have incoming hostiles.
Too bad there's no thing like an Overwatch mechanic or something. That's still weird, it doesn't just auto-target it, but fire at will! Let's not scum up too much heat. 2 medium lasers should work. Ooh, popped like a melon.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Ah. Nice aim, dork.
What you need. I'm moving out.
Wait, is she only... Yeah, she's taking structure damage. How did it bypass her armor? She's not structure exposed yet. Ah, long-range missiles are the only thing she can hit with here.
Confirmed.
$35-ton vehicle. Ow!
Warning. Armor low.
How can I help? Roger that.
Alright, for target for target B, we can activate long-range missiles. And for target A... Yup. Light them up!
Damn you for making me do that, son. Damn you.
Structure exposed. Geez, solid hit. Not awful, just not good. Gotcha, gotcha. So essentially, you actually need to be smarter with Overwatch rather than setting up setting up your shtick. Oh yeah, you're going down, buddy.
All weapons committed.
There's no such thing as overkill.
Enemy unit destroyed.
You have my attention.
We'll park her behind the rock so that she's not a valid target to be shot. Embrace. 35-ton vehicle inbound. Ah, that's not good.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
Well, yeah, overheat is a bad.
I'm holding action.
Yes, I hear you.
Aw, no one can stomp the vehicle. Turn off the autocannons for this one.
Engaging target. Enemy unit destroyed.
Deja vu, I've butted this bud before. Higher on the butt, and it's my time to butt. Only you. Such as a butty butt.
Copy that.
Tried hard to butt, but.
We're too late.
Lasers are based off of heat. Ah, my shoulder actuator is damaged. We'll need to be careful of that one.
I'm on my way.
Kamea! Kamea, do you hear me? It's Esponia, your uncle. Do you hear me? House Esponia is usurping the throne. Can't be. My uncle. Victoria. Kamea, I just watched an Esponia battle mech plow through an alley full of civilians. This is happening, and it's happening now. Your loyalists have fallen back to the market district. That's where they're making their stand. What's left of the Royal Guard is doing their best, but there's something wrong with their battle mechs. Wait, what's that sound? Oh, gods!
Alexander!
It's over, Kamea. Your ascendancy, the Arano legacy, all of it. Victoria, what have you done? You know, Kamea, for years, I loved you like a sister. But then my father helped me see it. Your family's complacency, what it's done to the Reach. Our nation dwindles like a dying star, and House Arano is to blame. My father offered you a path to glory. I would have fought under your banner proudly, served as your strong right hand. It was like a knife in my heart when you turned him away. Damn it, Victoria, I taught you better than this! You taught me lies! Kamea, for the love I once bore for you, I will give you this chance to surrender. I'll even spare the old man and his mech warrior if you stand down now. I don't want to see you hurt, but you cannot be allowed to rule. I will see you hanged for this, Victoria. You and your father both. Do you hear me? You are traitors to the Reach, and I will fight you to the last. Then you truly are a fool. I'll spare you in spite of yourself, but you've cost your royal escort their lives.
Attention, all Espinosa forces. This is Lady Victoria Espinosa.
Oh, Espinosa.
Lady Arano is to be apprehended and taken alive by my command. Fail to follow these instructions, and you will have me to deal with.
That breaks line of sight.
Affirmative.
So we've got a locust, we've got a spider. Good hits. Oh god, they've got four, they got two, mech 4s.
Barely a scratch.
Did he just try to death from above me?
Busted.
Fucking unload. He's out of the fight effectively. Just lit up that spider like it wasn't even nothing.
Gods, that shot went internal.
Standing by.
Oh, that's... Let's turn on all my... Oh,
Acknowledge.
well, I'm committed now. Yeah, let's hit that rear armor with everything we've got. You're not gonna have a good time, buddy. But I will multi-target and get a spider shot off.
Confirmed.
It's why it's called the Highlander's Burial, right? Both legs destroyed.
Inflicting heavy damage.
Incoming transmission.
Attention, citizens of Coromadir 6. This is Lord Santiago Espinosa. With the unanimous support of the founding houses, I have assumed control of the Oregon Coalition. For your own protection, I urge you to remain calm and stay indoors until otherwise instructed. All hostile units, stand down, and you have my oath that you will not be harmed. Resist, and you will be fired upon.
Ah, that's a bunch of back armor I just ate.
My father placed his faith in that man. I gave him my trust. He was family.
But yeah, I'm not entirely a noob to Battletech, just some things I'm not 100% sure of. Also, this is incredibly close, but fuck it.
Engaging target.
I'm listening.
Yeah, her mech is starting to heat up pretty bad. Yeah, I'll just go for a missile pod.
I'll make it happen.
Kaboom! Kamea, do you read me? Alexander, thank the gods! I thought I lost you when the bombs fell. You very nearly did, Kamea. The city is lost. We have to get off this planet, and we need to do it now. I can't abandon Cordomir. This is my home, my birthright. The battle's over, Kamea. Lord Madeira has the right of it. It's time for you to run, escape from this madness, and live to restore the Coalition another day. You're both right. My uncle is one. The Reach is his. We'll mourn it for later, for both of us. For now, I need you. You need to move. I have a dropship waiting at Shepherd's Pass. I'm on my way there right now. Hurry and meet me there, please. We're on our way.
You get to that ship, Alexander. I mean it. We will not lose you and my throne on the same day.
Orders? Roger.
Brace up. I don't even know what thing you're talking about. Here we go. That gives me a clear line of sight. We're not just some dude. It's just in the circuit. Our backstory was defined by what we picked over there, so... Yeah, fire it well.
All weapons committed. Enemy unit destroyed.
But I imagine as we continue the campaign, we'll get more definition.
Location confirmed.
The only thing that can hit him are LRM 5, so let's go. Ah, good old 90s cartoons. Minimal damage.
Armor low.
You've got my attention.
Light him up.
Vehicle down. The poor bastards.
Go, go, go! This is your last chance, cousin. Don't make me order you. Don't make me order your death. Do whatever you must, betrayer. A headstrong fool to the end. Damn you for this. Captain House, destroy them. Mastiff, my cousin, all of them. Leave no survivors.
As you command, my lady.
Racing. Oh god, there goes some heavy armor.
The bastard reached my armor.
Reading you loud and clear. Sounds good. I'm moving.
Activating short-range missiles, and go.
Locked in on the target.
Talk to me.
Mastiff's not doing so hot on armor right now. Hey, that thing can take maybe... Let's go with that. Damn. Those hit very well, though. Wolverine's inbound. Thank God for front armor. Very lots of front armor.
Armor breached. Internal damage.
How hard did he split his attacks?
Standing by.
A target, B target. You know what? We go all out. Flick the switch.
Do what you ask. My heat sinks can't keep up.
I still got a good bunch of armor, so push it. we can knock him over, that will help out a lot. All guns fire forward.
All weapons committed.
His jump jet and right arm is destroyed, but no knockdown.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
He's nothing but a blade of armor at this point.
Damage minimal.
Orders?
He's barely holding together. Fire at will.
Affirmative.
Well, there goes the medium laser.
Yes, I hear you.
She's still overheating. Target destroyed.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Tell me what you need.
I note that we automatically use abilities if we don't move. And abilities don't seem to be on cooldown.
Warning. Detecting mech warrior injury.
Ah, fuck. There goes my right shoulder.
You've got my attention. Affirmative.
Take it down.
Target destroyed.
I'm listening. I'm moving out.
Talk to me.
Let's get out of here. Fortunately, I'm missing half my guns right now.
Yes, I hear you. Affirmative.
And I took a wound. Thank the gods you made it, Kamea. Captain Halvardson is prepping the engines right now. In another 5 minutes, we'll be ready to depart. 5 minutes is a long time. Morikaga, you see Lady Arano to the docking ramp. When she's aboard, come back to me. We'll hold this pass against whatever comes.
Thank you, Sir Raju. Thank you both. I won't forget what you've done for me today. I promise you that. Reading loud and clear.
Oh, she's just gonna act first. Okay. All units advance. I want you to take down that dropship. Destroy everyone and everything that stands in your way. Alright, I trained you for this. We'll fight side by side, watch each other's backs. Above all else, we will keep Lady Arano safe. Protect the dropship, that's all that matters. Warning. Engine heat critical. Warning, error, shutdown initiated. Error, reactor offline, weapons offline, systems inoperable. Trouble with your blackjack? Shame. That's been happening to a lot of Royal Guard battle mechs lately. You have numbers on us, and you've resorted to sabotage. And you're gloating about it? You have no honor, you vicious little brat. Nor your backstabbing father, too. Shut your mouth, old man. My father is a great man, and I swear to all the gods you will suffer if you insult him again. Your father is a coward, and so are you. Morikaga, I want you to eject. Now. Punch out. You're no good to anybody in a broken mech, and I won't let you die today. Eject, mech warrior. Now. That's an order. Now come for me, Victoria. Your teacher is waiting. Come and show me what you've learned.
Mission successful.
Yeah, those SRMs are a lot better than I thought they would be. Goddamn. Well, so much for mission successful. 8 hours later, high orbit. Coromadeer. Easy there. You took a nasty crack on the head when you punched out. Don't worry, you're safe now. My name is Darius Oliveria, and I'm the XO of the Markham's Marauders, or a mercenary outfit with ties to House of Rano. We did some work for High Lord Tamati way back then. Born 2017, died 3022. Tamati Arana II was a High Lord of the Arugan Coalition. He succeeded his father, High Lord Tamati Arana I in 2988. Tamati is remembered throughout the Reach as a kind and benevolent ruler. His key accomplishments include a military campaign against pirate activity on Fjaldir, the expansion of the social welfare on Coromir VI, and coalition-funded renovation of the Esponia refit yards. Tamani and his wife, Lady Sarah Arano, were tragically killed in the jump ship accident of 3022. They are survived by their daughter, Lady Camilla Arano. I'd introduce you to Commander Markham, but he was on a supply run in the market district when the bombs fell. He didn't make it. You rescued me. Why? Seems appropriate given the circumstances. After seeing what happened to Markham, I didn't feel right leaving you in the hands of this new directorate. When we picked up your broadcast on the emergency band, we knew what we had to do. What about Mastiff? Sir Raju Montgomery, did you find him? They found his mech. It was completely cored out. No one survives a hit like that. For what it's worth, sorry. We supported the Royal Guard on a handful of deployments, and Sir Raju earned my respect many times over. His death is a loss for us all. Were you able to recover my blackjack? Yeah, our mech tech's hauled what's left it into the mech bay. It isn't pretty, but if you give him enough time, Yang can fix just about everything. Try not to take the loss too hard. Yang said that your mech showed signs of deliberate sabotage. Whoever you had it working on really did a number on its reactor. Punching out was the right move. So, what happens now? Well, things aren't looking so hot around here, what with the coup and all. House Esponia's directorate is the new de facto government of the Arugan Reach. Sorry to tell you all this, but Lady Arano is dead. Her dropship was destroyed on takeoff. It's all over the news. Former Vigilant, a founding house of the Arugan Coalition, currently ruled by Director Santiago Esponia. The Esponia House Sacral is an ibex on a field of thorns. The ancestral seat of House Esponia is Coromir V. House Esponia staged a military coup on Lady coup on Lady Camilla Rana's coronation day, toppling the old Arugan coalition and replacing it with a new authoritarian government, the Arugan Directorate. Damn it. What a waste. Our sentiments exactly. We're getting the hell out of Arugan territory. I've already booked our transport on the first jump ship out. We're heading to a nice quiet stretch of independent space all the way across the frontier, on the Canoplen border. Not a cheap trip, but we're about how we're going to pay for it later. The Magistry of Canopus is a large periphery state located in Rimworld and anti-spinward of Terra, just beyond the Free Worlds League. Founded explicitly as a matriarchy, the Magistry is ruled by the Matrix, a position open only to women, and usually held by a member of the founding Centrella family. Independent since the fall of the Star League, the Magistry has remained mostly untouched by the succession wars, except by the overall collapse of trade and travel. The Magistry is famed for its social and cultural freedom, with no consensual behavior forbidden by law or custom. The current ruler of the Magistry is Matrix Kalia Centrella, who harbors a deep grudge against the Inner Sphere and the Free Worlds League in particular. As for you, well, you've got options. According to your blood cheat, you got family out in the Federated Suns. If you want, I could look into booking you transport on a freighter bound for Davian space. Can't make any promises, but I'm willing to try. So what's the blood chit? Blood chit. Comstar issued identification carried by mech warriors out in the field. Frontier freelancer. I know how to live on the frontier. If that's where you're going, I guess I'm with you. You're welcome to stay aboard for as long as you like. We're getting near the Canopian border. We'll drop you off on a planet of your choosing. Of course, you'll need to pitch in for your share of the fuel, plus food, lodging, and repairs on your mech. Fair is fair, after all. Alternatively, you could find a place for yourself in the Marauders if you wanted to. Wouldn't take you long to work off your debt, and if you ran with Mastiff, you ran with Mastiff, so I know you got chops. Think it over. Sleep on it. You've had a hell of a day, and we have a long road ahead. 3 years later, Ukrun, Rimworld Frontier. Right back into combat. Out of one bonfire into another. Welcome to hell. Among the countless stars and the countless worlds, there can only be war. Years later. Also, why are you doing this to me, phone? I need you to make sure that I can actually see chat. Because I'm still on only single monitor setup, and that's rough. Hey, Dragfree! Give me a quick second, just trying to fix my chat here.
Command interface initiated.
The Independent Prospectors League thanks you for your assistance, Commander. We're miners, not soldiers. We can't fight these bastards off on our own. That's what you're paying us for. Don't worry, we'll get your platforms back. This isn't about reclaiming what's out. Isn't just what's reclaiming about what's ours. Majesty Metals killed hundreds of us when they tried to jump our claim. We want you to make them bleed for what they've done here. Commander, the Op-4 is holding 2 of the IPL's mining platforms. First designated Alpha is where they're keeping their turret generator. Move in fast and take it out. Those turrets hit hard, so you want to neutralize the MASAC. Platform Bravo is at the site of the Op-4's corporate security tower. Engage it and destroy it. They bring in a mech to protect it, take that out too. Then circle on back and we'll collect our pay. That's right, I'm ready and waiting to authorize the transfer. Now go on, Commander. Hit those corporate pigs where it hurts. We'll be watching the action from here. Precision Strike. Take a cold shot against an enemy at -4 difficulty. The target's next initiative is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. And we have a morale bar. When above 50%, your mech warriors all have slightly increased combat prowess. Special abilities like Precision Strike and Vigilance must spend morale to activate. Your Lance's morale, the blue bar next to your pilots, increases as you engage in combat. When it is half full, your pilots will be inspired. Vigilance. Gain guarded and entrenched to remove all stability damage. Your next initiative is increased by 1 to a max of 5. So we've got our Blackjack's in working condition. We've got Glitch.
What can I do for you?
Who's got PPC, particle projection cannon. She's got lasers and long-range missiles. I don't know what her initiative is on, though. Also, Badlands Biome. Units in Badlands sink only 85% of normal heat.
Receiving you.
We have a Shadowhawk, which has an AC-5, short-range missiles, and long-range missiles. We have quite a variety of long-range missiles for skirmishing.
Yes, Commander.
We have a Spider, which means he is all about light. Light. He's a light mech.
Good to go.
Vindicator's General.
Commander.
Shadowhawk. Yeah, I don't know those mechs too well. So if they got turret guns over there, we may want to...
Orders?
Yeah, if the turret's right there, we can outflank them. Alright, let's get moving, people.
Location confirmed. Standing. Waiting on you, Commander.
Let's move, freelancers.
Roger that.
Good thing about spider mechs. They are extremely fast. Like, ungodly fast. You are trespassing on Majesty
Metals and manufacturing property and acting in collusion with a domestic terrorist organization. Cease your advance immediately, or you will be fired upon.
Acknowledged. What's up, boss? Coordinates received.
He's already moved, so... I think we're okay? Shoddy. This unit has received little upkeep and resupply and carries only 50% of its normal armor.
Affirmative.
Alright, that's some good starting damage. Max inbound. Oh, it's another spider. That's cute.
Ready for orders.
Coming in.
Affirmative.
Yeah, we're at a bit of a hard angle.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Doesn't stop us from doing some good damage.
Waiting for orders.
Turn off my lasers. And here we go.
Engaging target.
Yeah, keep drilling his side and he's eventually gonna just pop.
I hear ya.
All guns fire.
Time to die.
Well, she missed with the particle cannon. And roughly everything else.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Oh, shit.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
I was thinking
Commander, I'm wounded.
What the shit? I thought those turrets couldn't hit us. Well, with all our M's, yeah, that'll do it.
Went internal. Yes, Commander. Lifting
Dangerous play, but I need that turret gen down, or else we're in for a bad time.
off. Locked on.
2 shots clean. Nice try. Cute. Now, order of operations.
Commander.
Then again, she really is suited for... Why is her S laser not capable of being fired? Now that will hit very nicely. Fire at will.
Got it.
Damn it, she missed with the particle cannon again.
Good to go.
Engaging in melee.
Coordinates received.
It is currently a good game, Kajern. Stay a while and see if it interests you further. Okay, so AC2s are not going to work here, but lasers, al dente, gonna cook him like a... Yeah, he's gonna cook.
Engaging target.
Oh, yeah, he got fucking cored.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Let's just hope the spider can take a... Nope. They're going after our big one. Oh, no. Spider's getting shot. That's a lot of structure damage.
I'm taking internal damage.
That barrage thankfully did poorly.
Commander?
Fire at will.
Firing on target.
That should pop it. There we go.
Flatten that one.
Ow, my arm. I take offense to that, good sir.
Orders.
Engaging in melee.
Engaging physical attack. Enemy mech critical damage detected.
What can I do for you?
There's nothing like glorious close combat.
Don't need to tell me twice. This is gonna be good.
Ah, that's where small laser comes in. It's a close combat weapon.
Waiting for orders.
Alright. That's objective A down. Everyone rally up. Blackjacks are not very fast.
You betcha.
Also max morale. Nice. Destroy the Shadowhawk.
Good to go. On my way. Heading out.
Mech's moving forward.
Enemy detected.
On the move.
Aye, aye.
Racing. He's overwatching.
Waiting for orders. Moving out.
But yeah, Kajern, it's essentially a strategy game set in the Battletech universe. So a lot of old clunker mechs, to say the least.
What's up, boss? Got it.
Brace up. More vehicles heading for the flanks. The game very much has things about facing. It has an enhanced damage system where it is absolutely important to...
Good to go.
What the hell? I want you to brace, buddy.
Stabilizing and bracing.
It's all about being able to manage damage because, well, your arms can get blown off, your leg can get blown off. Yeah, here comes the mech.
I hear ya.
Orders? On it.
Dangerous play, but I'm going to spend some morale to make sure he's guarded. By being in position, we can just slam him. Oh, it is absolutely Western Front.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Should be able to just start firing off with long-range missiles now. Or I could def from above him. Nah, I don't have jump jets that good on this mech at least, so fire at will. Yeah, Battletech has a long and storied history as being one of the mech games. It's been around longer than 40k as far as I remember. Oh, geez, you also have... Oh, nope, you can't. Fire at will.
I copy.
I really need better LRMs. Brace up.
Standing by.
We're going to jump him out of the fray for right now, because he's very dangerously hurt right now.
Got it.
Or at least he took a lot of structure damage where he could have avoided it, so yeah, let's just jump him out of the fray right now. Only needed him to get some initial eyes. Here comes the Shadowhawk. Oh god, that's gonna actually put me out.
Commander? What's up, boss?
Light is about to suck for me for a moment, but it's gonna suck worse for him. Death from above!
Leg damage imminent.
And that missed.
No damage detected.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, because no impact was made, we don't suffer the downsides of it either.
Affirmative.
Cook off some heat. Position her right where we need her to. If we core him. Nah, just fire at will. She is not hit with that particle cannon once.
Waiting for orders.
Firing.
Locking on.
His side armor's exposed. Also, hi, lawnmower.
Waiting for orders.
Gonna wait for you to pass on by. Yeah, his shoulder's busted.
Jumping. Confirmed.
And point-blank alphas don't exactly work out the best. I think he's going after the spider. No, he's point-blanking me. Oh, this hurts bad. Though the coward, the fool! I'm gonna have to... Oh, nope, I'm good. Those lasers will very much do a good trick on him. And it's on his... Yep, fire at will.
Engaging target.
His AC-5 got crit. Nicely done.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Ready for orders.
Moving up.
On my way.
Okay, so... I don't have LRMs. If I pop the torso, I think that counts as a kill. Nah, fire at will.
Solid connection on that one. Good to go.
Fire at will.
Got it.
There we go. That's a hit, alright.
Ready for orders.
Oh, because he can't physically see him. Okay. We'll reserve the action for now. Just armor.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
Yeah, it's get a little hot here.
Got it.
Can you not hit with that thing ever? Engaging in melee.
Engaging physical attack.
receiving you.
Hi, lawnmower again. Can you please go away? Thank you. Death of above.
Here we go.
Squish.
Vehicle down.
Yes, Commander.
Engaging in glorious melee.
Engaging. That hit something good.
He is on his ass.
Standing by.
Crunch.
Reporting. Vehicle destroyed.
Bada boom. Taking him out.
Engaging target. Enemy mech destroyed. Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
Alright, we've cooled off.
Waiting for orders.
Taking a protective stance.
Blackjack moving forward.
I copy. Taking the shot.
And building eliminated.
Brought it down, Commander.
Great job, Commander. Double back to our client's platform. The sooner we can collect our pay and break orbit, the better.
Oh.
Orders.
I kinda wish that lawnmower wasn't there. Bracing up. Oh, wow. Okay, death from above fucks your legs up bad. That's a trick I can only really do once a mech, unless I specifically heavily armor those legs.
Affirmative. Up high.
Roger. Venting heat and stabilizing.
Bringing it on home.
Right, Commander. Move order received.
Up high.
And we're here.
On my way. Copy that.
Brilliant work, Commander. We should have no trouble mopping up the other platforms now that their defenses are down. Meanwhile, lawnmower passes by. We'll get the job done. Speaking of which, I wasn't finished. These platforms don't do much good if we can't hold them. Majesty's medals trust us that, so we're gonna need your battle max. You're going to want to reconsider that. Why? Your lance has already been target locked by our turret. Now power down and surrender, and we'll let you walk. Or try and fight, and we'll tear you to shreds. Your call. Well, there goes our goddamned payday. Hold on tight, Commander. We're on our way.
Additional enemies detected.
Good to go.
Are you seriously gonna fucking... You are all dumb.
Target acquired.
You let us walk right into your base where there's the fucking target the generator. You are all literally stupid. And plus, we just took out the entirety of the enemy legion. Ooh, that's not a good hit. Bad hit, bad hit. Okay, just armor. Good.
Good to go. Firing. Commander?
Target A, target B.
Roger that.
Target generator is down. Vehicle is down.
Mover down.
And light them up. All guns fire.
Engaging target. Enemy unit destroyed.
Can we stop beating up on the spider, please?
They've blown past my armor.
You know how incredibly rude that is.
Yes, Commander.
And now he has to stomp you because you're rude.
Order received. Targeting for physical attack. Reporting. One less vehicle.
Stand by for extraction, Commander. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, and Darius? I know, Mayor, I know. You want another team meeting? Give the man a prize.
Mission successful.
Now that was a good mission. Fucking blew them to pieces. Curse this sudden but inevitable betrayal. Well done, Commander. You made the best of a bad situation. Here's hoping we don't run into another job like that one. Mercenary Review Board rating. Your rating with the Mercenary Review Board indicates how trusted and effective your mercenary company is. A high MRB rating will earn you respect from fellow mercenaries and mech warriors for hire. Darius. The Rimworld frontier is a hotbed of simmering hostilities, piracy, and low-intensity skirmishes. In this environment, mech warriors with more guts than sense can carve out a living for themselves as independent mercenaries. The pay is good, but the survival rate is very, very low. Reputation hasn't changed. The overall morale of your crew and mech warriors out of a possible maximum of 100. Morale is carried over into battle. You can use it to trigger special actions to increase your mech warriors' effectiveness. Morale can be raised by spending more lavish spending on salaries and luxuries, as well as constructing recreational upgrades in the dropship. Be careful. If your morale is too low, you may encounter bad shit. Majesty Metals and Manufacturing. The world is independently ruled by a planetary government, unaffiliated with any of the interstellar states of the inner sphere or the periphery. Well, no money for us. All of our armor's busted, but minor damage at best. Jesus Christ, one wound put him out for 26 days? Good to know. Defender, Specialization Guts. capable of standing their ground more effectively than through bulwark and able to suffer additional injuries before becoming incapacitated. Can also better control recoil effect from weapons. Recruits are fresh mech warriors who are relatively unskilled with no abilities available to them yet. Gunner. Specialization Gunnery. Adept at the use of ranged weaponry in combat and able to tackle multiple opponents at once via multi-target. Rent to own, in orbit, Kurun. You need to start finding us better clients, Darius. I mean it. We've been slumming on the ass end for the frontier for 3 years now, and we're drowning in debt. I'm fully aware of our financial situation, Meyer, but I can't just conjure up new clients out of thin air. Yeah, do me a solid and back me up on this. Is this why you made me your commander? So I could break up fights and review financial reports? Damn right it is. It's not like anyone else wanted the job. Darius, could you walk us through the details of the trouble we're in? It might help if you broke things down point by point. Sure, Yang. Point 1, Mayor's right. We're in debt. Every C-bill we make technically belongs to the banks. Point 2, this corner of the frontier is a dead end for mercenary work. There are clients, but they're terrible, and that's just a fact. And that's it. There's no other options. C-bill, the standard galactic unit of currency, named for Comstar. One C-bill is valued at 1 millisecond of APG transmission time. What's our best case scenario? How many jobs will it take to repay the loans? Truthfully, I can't even say. We're in a pretty deep hole, and from where I'm standing, I don't see a whole lot of daylight. The thing is, these banks, I use that word loosely, they don't want us to pay off our loans. They'll do whatever they can to get away with it. They'll do whatever they can get away with to keep us on the hook. Hit us with fees, jack up our interest rates, misfile our paperwork. I'm trying to find a way out of this, but it's going to take time. Every day that passes, we accumulate more debts. If we keep going like we have been, we're screwed. Okay, we're in a bad spot. What are we going to do about it? I don't see what else we can do. I'm already serving up every legitimate contract I can find. Unless you want me to sidestep the Mercenary Review Board entirely, we're basically out of options. Mercenary Review Board. Founded in 2789, the Mercenary Review Board, MRB, serves as an impartial broker of mercenary contracts. The MRB is overseen by Comstar, a communications giant that is famous for its neutrality. An essential component of modern military culture, the MRB ensures an even playing field between mercenary companies and their employers, and is quick to arbitrate any breach of contract. Go around the MRB? No thanks. Taking an uncertified job is a great way to end up with a knife in your back. We just got betrayed on a board-certified contract, Yang. How much worse could it get? Plenty. What happened down there was an exception, boss. With uncertified jobs, it's the rule. Remind me again why we don't just skip town and head to a nicer corner of the periphery? Because the banks and the jump ship crews have an arrangement. Till we pay up, they're going to keep us on a short leash. That's a good reason. Look, Darius, the mayor's right. We need to start earning some real money. We need to do it soon. It's only a matter of time before something breaks that I can't just fix with duct tape and good intentions. Origin Loner. If I was afraid of taking risk, I never would have left that gilded cage my parents called a home. We're gonna have to be just as bold. You hear that, Darius? The voice of experience speaks. Going around the MRB might kill us, sure. So might 1,000 other things. We're mercenaries. Taking risks is our business, but we need to get paid. It's settled then. I'll start digging for contracts outside of the MRB system. Who knows? Maybe it'll work out for the best. It isn't like we all got that much to lose. In the meantime, we need to find another paying job, and our prospects in the system have completely dried up. I recommend booking travel to a neighboring system and seeing what the review board has for us. With any luck, we'll be able to find work to keep going until something better rolls in. The banks are holding our jump ship access hostage until we can pay our debts. For now, we can only go between Urkrun and the nearby systems of Alloway, Betheron, and Detroit. Our top priority right now needs to be finding work so we can raise cash. None of the contracts here are very good. I picked up the only viable ones I could find, and helpfully includes our travel fees as part of the deal. Come by the command center when you're ready to review it. Fucking A! 26 days out of action? It'll be faster just to get someone who can replace them for the time being.
Yes, Commander.
Waiting.
Yes, Commander.
Reputation indifferent. An indifferent faction. This faction has no firm opinions about your company. You pay a standard 10% markup in shops to the system this faction controls. What's the faction? The planetary government. Ah, it's just kind of its thing. Alright, so let's explore the ship. Starting with command. Oh, that's cute. The little mech right there. Oh, so this is where I paint. Oh, there's little paints and shit. That's adorable. Too bad I can't paint the spear any better. Then your fucking paints. Reputation. So the Draconis Combine, the Federated Sons, the Capellian Confederation, the Magistry of Canopus, the Free Worlds League, the Turian Concordat, and the Larian Commonwealth. Huh, I'm actually not too good with the Federated Sons despite the fact I am Federated Sons. Money. Company finances. Your operating costs due at each fiscal report. The pips indicate the number of months you can still stay afloat. Should your funds ever hit zero, your company will fail entirely and cease operations. 70,000 a month. Yeesh. That's expensive.
How can I be of service, Commander?
Hey. Hey, Commander, something I can do for you? Does the decision we made about uncertified contracts satisfy your concerns? My concerns won't be satisfied until our creditors have been paid and the loan sharks are off our backs. But this is a step in the right direction. That makes me happy. I'm not blind to the risk that uncertified contracts entail, by the way. I mean, I know what we're doing is dangerous, but it's the best chance we've got to dig ourselves out of this hole. I've got some questions about navigation. Sure, ask away. Okay, Navigator, how do we get from system to system? The short answer is that you pick a destination on the star map and I make it happen. Interstellar travel takes time, sometimes weeks, and it costs us sea bills for fuel and passage on a jump ship, but it's the only way an outfit like ours is to survive out here. We go where the work is. What intel can I get about a system before choosing to go there? Enough to make a reasonably informed choice, I think. The star map makes political boundaries clear, so you know whose space we're entering. I pre-programmed the star map to lock out travel to systems designated as no-fly zones. We're looking for work, Commander, not an interstellar incident. Beyond political boundaries, the nav system will highlight political factions active in the system. That should give us a good idea of who's hiring. It's probably a good idea to check our reputation with the local factions before ordering a long voyage. There's gotta be more intel than just local politics. There is. As long as you select systems on the star map, you'll see the attributes of the MercNet database attributes with them. Attributes like black market or poor, clues to local store contents. The type of mercs we'll find in the hiring halls, contracts we may be offered, potential mission environments. If you hover over an attribute, the star map will display a longer description for you. Beyond the political factions and the attributes of a system, perhaps the most important to watch for is the difficulty rating of the Merc contracts you'll find there. The MRB maintains a standardized rating system, so folks like us who are trolling MERCneck for jobs can weigh the risk before accepting a contract. What else can you tell me about the mechanics of space travel? I want to know it all. Well, the long answer is that there's two types of space travel. Travel by dropship like ours, and travel by jump ships. Dropships travel under 1g of thrust to move from planet's orbit to a jump point. Jump points are far out of the gravity well of a star, and so travel to them to and from a jump point takes most of our travel time, sometimes weeks. Jump ships, on the other hand, are like ferries. They sit at a jump point waiting for folks like us to latch onto their docking collar. Then we wait there for about 5 days while they spin up their jump drive. Once the jump drive is spun up, popping a dozen light years across interstellar space to another jump point takes nearly no time at all. I've heard stories about pirate points that a jump ship can use. What are those? They're bad news, Commander. Difficult to locate and dangerous to use. I've heard people using pirate points in desperate situations or on covert missions, but it's not worth the risk of a misjump. You won't find any pirate points on my star map, I can tell you that. Let's just avoid them. I want to ask about something else. Do we always have to pay our way from system to system? Not always, no. If you check the contract list in the command center, you'll often find employers posting travel contracts. Travel contracts allow employers to attract mercenaries to their system by paying the outfit's travel expenses. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why not take the travel contract and skip out on their mission for a more lucrative contract when we arrive? You can do that, but will automatically be charged the cost of the jump. You know the old saying, there's no such thing as a free ride? Yeah, unfortunately, it's still true. Honestly, the star map confuses me sometimes. Why does it take longer to get from one place to another when systems appear to be the same distance apart? Yeah, that bothered me too before I joined the Academy. Turns out in real life, space travel isn't like you see in the adventure holovids that Darius made us watch. For starters, some stars are more massive than others. In the case of a really big star, you have to range pretty far afield to find a location suitable for a KF jump. For us, that means a whole lot of molasses-slow sublight travel before we can even dock with a jump ship, let alone ride it anywhere. Jump ship charging times are the other half of the time travel equation. A jump ship's KF drive will take a few days to recharge each jump, so if your destination's a few jumps away, well, you get where I'm going with this. And that's the long and short of it. Anytime we want to go from one system to another, we're talking about weeks of sublight travel, coupled with a healthy dose of hurry up and wait. Exactly how much determines how long the travel is going to take. That's all for now. Yeah, sure, anytime. Commander Markham never really paid much attention to this kind of stuff, so your interest is a welcome change. I'm gathering stories about the crew. Tell me about yourself. Well, I'm from a noble family like you. We're old money. Made our fortune out in Rassahaug, and then repatriated to the Turian Concordat. That's where I grew up. I'm not sure this is the kind of stuff you're hoping to hear, but we can talk whenever. I'm not shy. Principality of Rassahaug, a minor interstellar state conquered 700 years ago by the Draconis Combine, now officially known as the Rassahaug Military District. The Turian Concordat, on the other hand, is one of the largest periphery states located rimworld of Terra beyond the Federated Suns. Founded and ruled by House Calderon, the Concordat prides itself on independence, freedom, and stability. The Concordat is wealthy, well-educated, and well-armed for a periphery state. The Taurians defend their independence fiercely against inter-sphere aggression, particularly by the Federated Suns. They perceive House Davian's reputation as protector of liberties as unwarranted and even hypocritical, and they have a long history of conflict with a much larger successor state. The current ruler of the Concordat is the Protector, Thomas Calderon. Your family came from Rassahaug? Yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah, as my parents told it, we were landowners on Pomme de Terre. It's an agricultural world, sort of the breadbasket of the Draconis Combine. And yes, I know that Pomme de Terre means potato. My ancestors came from the planet Potato. It took some time for me to accept that, but hey, here we are. Anyway, moving on, House Meyer's holdings were meager, but the value of that land was astronomical. From minor nobility, we were really very wealthy. Then the Third Succession War broke out, and the political rhetoric got ugly. House Meyer didn't want a single part of what was happening, so my ancestors emptied their accounts and ran. As a rule, House Kurita takes a really dim view of nobles who cut and run. Words like traitor and defector start getting thrown around. In the Combine, you really don't want to be on the receiving end of allegations like that. I wouldn't be here today if House Calderon hadn't granted my ancestors asylum in the Concordat. In all likelihood, House Mayer would have been wiped out before I was even born. What can you tell me about House Mayer? You're looking at it. My parents are both gone. Blood cancer and heart disease, respectively. Both treatable, but they were out of money at that point, so into the ground they went. Ditto my brother David, who ran out to serve the Third Succession War and never came back. Third Succession War. The Third Succession War began in 2866 when the coordinator Miyogi Kurita responded aggressively to rumors of Draconis Combine weakness, but the fighting spread to the entire inner sphere. Because of the successor state's military capabilities have been dramatically reduced in the two previous succession wars, this conflict proceeded at a slower pace and with less intensity than earlier wars. Treaties signed in 3020 and 3022 limited the fighting. By 3025, the Third Succession War had effectively ended. I'm sorry? The galaxy was at war for nearly 200 years, Commander. People died. You don't need to apologize for it. And, truthfully, I was never really all that close to them. David was 13 years older than me, and had a foot out the door before I turned 3. My parents, well, they raised me by proxy, in the traditional noble fashion. There was no real bond there, even though I was young. None of this is to say that my folks were bad people. They weren't. They were just doing what they knew. Their upbringings had been outsourced, just like mine was. Anyway, that's all I got to say about my family. They're gone, I'm here, the end. So, you got another question, or should we get back to duties? Where in the Concordat are you from? I grew up on New Vandenberg. It's a nice enough place, I suppose. Do you like birds? Sure, I guess. Then you like New Vandenberg. It's practically one big aviary. Something like 2/3 of the native fauna has feathers, flutters on the wind, and spatters its excrement across every available surface. Naturally, the original colonists adopted the feathery little monsters into the culture, and those of us that came after were kind of stuck with it. Statues, fountain, murals, you name it. Just a giant feathery pile of screeching alien birds. If the system had a motto, it would be Squawk. Cute. Maybe if I hadn't grown up with it. Where'd you learn to pilot a leopard anyway? The Torian Naval Institute on New Vandenberg. While among other places, it's a big campus. The low-gravity training station ordering Lompoc was my second home for a time. The TNI flight training isn't usually open to civilians, but my parents had good credit back then, and they could name-drop Protector Calderon. That'll get you pretty far in the Concordat, for a while anyway. The other cadets in my class weren't especially happy sharing air with the city, but they couldn't say much. I was nobility and they weren't. Everyone sort of kept me at arm's length, so I had plenty of time to concentrate on my studies. I got my certification for both dropship and jump ship operation in 4 years. I even tried working on a commercial jump crew for a while once upon a time. The people were fun, but it wasn't for me. The ratio of flying to violent jump sickness skewed hard in the wrong direction. I gotta get back to it. Talk to you later, Sumire.
I'll be here if you
Sumire. Let's take a look at the star map. Alright, so active civilizations in the... Whoa. Oh, that's not good. Accidentally bumped off my face. Hold on. Boop, that'll have to do. Orbit, transit, jump ship. Extensive volcanism? Oh, shit, we actually can see everything. Urkarine. Urkarine is a frozen wasteland, but geothermal vents create temperate zones which the planet's few inhabitants live and mine the plentiful mineral resources. So how big is our star map, just curious? Oh, hey, look, House Darian's over there. Otherwise, we've got the Capellian Federation, we've got the Assholes, we've got Magistry of Canopus, and then we've got Free States. Let's go check out the mech base. And this is where it becomes front mission. Stock combat roll. Autocannon 2's range extreme. Sniper autocannon. Intended for use as support fire at very long range, AC2s deal moderate damage with low heat and large ammunition count per ton. Like all autocannon weaponry, AC2s suffer recoil effects from continuous fire. Heatsink. Heatsinks actively repel thermal energy generated from firing weaponry or other sources, preventing damage from excessive heat buildup. Their effectiveness can be impacted by their surrounding environment, positively or negatively. Otherwise, in stock, we got ourselves a Hellion medium laser. We have a Krupp large laser. Large lasers exhibit a powerful combination of damage, range, and compactness, but generate substantial amounts of heat. Like all other lasers, large lasers enjoy a baseline accuracy over other weapons. Ah, I see the hard points. How do I see how much ammo I still have left? Support weapon hardpoints. The support weapons can include small laser, machine gun, and flamer. Okay. Honestly, this just seems like repair work. But not a terrible lot of ammo. Mech Lab overview. Mech at a glance. There's no advantage in fielding an underweight battle mech. Hard points are where we put the good stuff. Weapons and equipment on the left. Okay, I think I got this. Each location on a battle mech is covered in armor that protects vital internal structure. If the location's orange internal structures reduced to 0, that location and all its components are destroyed, the mech cannot be fielded. Armor is automatically repaired after a battle. The structure must be manually repaired, which takes time and C-bills. Dismount, mech-wide shortcuts, warning states. Yeah, that seems like that makes sense to me. So we have to just be careful to make sure that our hard points are all accounted for. Yeah, no, this is just a repair job right now.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
Oh, we can paint the mech. Oh, they're all converted to blue and whatnot because I made the main mech. Okay, that's cool. Oh god, what happened to him? Did he lose a limb or something, or does he just... Oh no, he just doesn't have hard points on his arms. His torsos are where his jump jets are? No, that makes sense, actually. Whoop. Not a terrible lot I can really do right now. And then let's get... No, actually, yeah, let's go with that. Since the spider's going to be out of action for a while. Okay, thankfully nothing got busted up too bad, so that was actually a very good opening engagement. Sorry if it's all just talking. It's going to be a slow burn while we learn about our crew. Also, nice cyber arm, dude. Hey, boss, welcome to the mech bay. My own little piece of heaven right here on the ship. What can I help you with? I want an assessment on the Leopard. How much trouble are we in? I don't know. I mean, we're doing okay for the moment, but give it a few months, maybe a year. You know how it goes. Eventually everything falls apart. Maybe our drive system will give out. Maybe some debris will perforate the hull. Who knows? But on that day, we're going to be able to cover our repair costs. And if we can't, well, that'll be that. I got a few questions on the mech bay. Yeah, then hit me with them. I'll do what I can answer. I mean, I don't want to wax poetic or nothing, but the mech bay is where the magic happens, boss. It's the beating heart of a mercenary outfit. Anything I should know about the mech bays themselves? Beyond each cubicle holding one battle mech? Not much. It's all about capacity. The more mech bays we have, the more mechs we can keep battle ready. The more mechs we have battle ready, the more flexibility you have in your deployment options. Let's say you had 2 blackjacks, for example. A decent medium mech for sure. I know your family gave you yours. One can be loaded out with lots of energy weapons for use in colder environments where they can bleed heat quickly. The other identical blackjack can be loaded with ballistic weapons that require ammo but generate much less heat. Smart for deploying in warmer climates or the vacuum where heat dissipation is slower. Why use mech storage? Few reasons. First, we have limited capacity in the mech base. We need to store the overstock for eventual sale or use in the future. Second, we don't pay upkeep costs on mechs in storage. That's a business thing, though, not my department. Third, and this is important, whenever we pick up partial mech salvage from the battlefield, I put it in storage for you. If we gather or buy enough partial mech salvage to complete a battle mech chassis, my team will be able to assemble it right away. You let me know if you want to keep it in storage or have it ready for combat. Battle mechs are expensive as hell, so assembling one out of salvage is our best bet for expanding our roster. What happens when a mech goes into or gets ready from storage? When you send a mech chassis into storage, our mech techs disassemble all of its weapons and equipment and place them in your inventory for use on other chassis. A chassis can stay in storage indefinitely. Don't worry about storage capacity, boss. I'll make it fit, don't you worry. Now, getting a stored battle mech ready for combat drop is a different animal. My techs will need a couple of days to bring an empty chassis up from storage. Once the chassis is back in the mech bay, we'll need to select its loadout from our equipment inventory so we can start a refit. The time and cost of a refit is dependent on the type and the amount of equipment you choose. Let me ask you something else. Sure thing, boss, be my guest. I've been wondering about the components you can put on our mechs. One of my favorite topics! In the mech bay, you can browse all the equipment we have available in inventory. There are 2 types of components I can install in a battle mech: weapons and equipment. Tell me about ballistic weapons. Ballistic weapons, such as the autocannon, pack a good punch, generate little heat, and can destabilize an enemy if they hit it enough. But ballistic weapons are, ballistic. So they require ammo. And if ammo can explode if it takes a hit in combat, which is bad news all around. Ballistic weapons are also pretty heavy and can take up a lot of space on a mech. Strengths and weaknesses, boss. Strengths and weaknesses. Tell me about energy weapons. Energy weapons don't use any ammo, but they generate a lot of heat. You may need to invest in additional heat sinks to keep your mech cool if you choose an energy-heavy loadout. Since they're intense beams of coherent light, energy weapons are great for cutting things up. They aren't much good at destabilizing an enemy. The particle projector cannon is the one big exception to that rule. In addition to the massive damage it can inflict, a hit from a PPC can destabilize an enemy, maybe even slow it down a bit. The PPC generates a metric shit ton of heat, but it's worth it, boss. And that wasn't enough. It has a mild EM punch that screws with the enemy's targeting computers. Tell me about missile weapons. Missile weapons are my favorites. Yeah, they require ammo and generate moderate heat, but the pounding they can deliver can stabilize an enemy faster than most other weapons. And having multiple projectiles in a shot means you're almost guaranteed at least a single hit. Long-range missiles are capable of indirect fire. If one of your units has line of sight on an enemy, it can act as a spotter for LRM-equipped units that don't. With a spotter, a mech equipped with LRMs can stay behind cover and arc its missiles to hit the enemy. A spotter can increase your launcher's effective range too. Granted, the enemy can do the same to you, but that's someone else's problem. I don't want to sell short-range missiles short, though. They can generate incredible impact and they do great damage. But you gotta be within knife's fight range to use them. Tell me about support weapons. Support weapons are lighter than others. Small lasers, machine guns, that kind of thing. I programmed our targeting computers to automatically fire them after a melee attack if they're activated. I've seen commanders order refits that remove most conventional weapons to double down on support weapons. With the right melee enhancing components, they can field monsters capable of point-blank devastation. Tell me about other equipment. It's a big list, boss. I'd suggest you check the store in every system we travel to. You never know what you might be able to find. I can install stronger cockpits to reduce the injuries on our mech warriors that will take, arm actuators that increase melee damage, rangefinders that increase the range of which enemies can be visually acquired. All sorts of stuff. I'll take up critical spots on a battle mech. Some add weight too. Keep your eyes open for them and give them a good once-over before you buy one so you know what you're getting into. Now, putting powerful weapons and equipment on your battle mechs is fine and all, but remember the trade-off is always armor. You know, they say the best defense is a strong offense? They are to the battlefield. Don't skimp on the armor, boss, or all that expensive equipment will just get reduced to junk with the enemy's first salvo. I heard some manufacturers develop better versions of weapons. True that. Different manufacturers tweak their weapons to deliver more damage, have higher accuracy to stabilize the enemy, a bunch of stuff. The trick is finding them. They're rare out here in the periphery, so when I see one in a store or salvage pile, I always mark it with a plus for you, so you can identify it easily. And some equipment is rarer than others. The more plus symbols I mark them with, the rarer and more useful they are. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you're going to find. Sure thing, be my boss. Sure thing, boss. Be my guest. You seem to know your way around a battlefield, Yang. Any advice? Sure. The more you lead in combat, the less work I have to do when it's over. Actually, I know how to do that. I'll be right back. My throat's actually a little dry, so I'm gonna go get a drink. Water, good. Tell me a bit about yourself. How'd you wind up with this crew? It's a long story, boss. Shortest version I can give you. I signed on after I served my term in the Third Succession War, fighting for the Capellian Confederation. Want to know more? You can ask whatever you want. Otherwise, let's get back to talking shop. "3 years, and I'm only now starting to ask the questions. Where are you from, originally?" "Bryant, in the Confederation. You may have heard our claim to fame. Crowley Lizard Cow. No? Well, trust me, they're delicious." Crowley Lizard Cow, an edible reptile indigenous to the planet Bryant. The meat of the Crowley Lizard Cow is considered a delicacy, and it is one of Bryant's few planetary exports. Anyways, the story goes, Bryant was a really nice place once. A tourist spot, big with hikers and fishing enthusiasts. Pale blue skies, emerald green seas, and a booming agricultural business. You know, the works. I never knew it that way, though. Stefan Amaris got to it a couple centuries before I was born, and well, that was that. Born 2017, died 2779. As president of the Rimworld's Republic, Stefan Amaris expanded the Republican army and placed Republican agents in key positions throughout the Star League. He fostered a close relationship with Richard Cameron, while the First Lord was his minority. When Cameron came of age, Amaris guided him towards policies that would move Alexander Konersky's SLDF away from Terra and place Republican forces there instead. With these preparations in place, Stefan Amaris murdered Richard Cameron in December 2766, and declared himself First Lord, beginning the Amaris Civil War. Konersky raised the Rimworld's Republic and returned to Terra to defeat Amaris' forces and captured him. Stefan Amaris was executed by firing squad in 2779. His remains were donated to the Medical School of University of New Samarkand. As the story goes, Bront used to have these enormous orbital lasers, storm inhibitors, they called them. The Star League put them in place. When Amaris took the system in his civil war, he had his troops use them for target practice. Without those mirrors, Bryant reverted to its natural state, a miserable little ball of wind-blown dirt, actively hostile to human life. Star League. From 2570 to 2780, the Star League was an interstellar council formed from the Terran hegemony, the 5 great houses of the inner sphere, and the territorial states of the periphery. The stability and prosperity of the Star League led to the flourishing of civilization and technology. The Star League ended in civil war when the leader of the Rimworld Republic, Stefan Amaris, murdered the First Lord in a bid to usurp his position. By the time I came along, the only places where people could live in relative safety were the planet's poles. Of course, you can't fit a planet's entire population into a handful of cities at poles. There isn't enough space, no matter how far down you dig or how tall you build. A lot of people, mostly the poor, died in the early days. Still a lot of overcrowding in Bryan's cities even now. That's my childhood home in a nutshell. Way too many people jammed into a tiny claustrophobic space, with nowhere to go but off-planet. I cleared out of there as fast as I could and never looked back. Gotta admit, though, I do miss the taste of lizard cow. Tell me about your time in the military. Who'd you serve with? The 2nd St. Ives Lancers, 1st Battalion under Major Ling. We saw more action than most. The arm is a souvenir of my time in the service. I lost my original back in 3010 on St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence is an important agricultural center in the Capellian Confederation. In 3010, a notable battle took place between the 2nd St. Ives Lancers and 2 regiments from the elite Seti Hussars from the Federated Sons. Much of the planet's vital wheat crop was destroyed. The 2nd St. Ives Lancers are a well-connected and well-financed regiment. The Lancers operated under the Capellian Confederation's Rimworld Quarter, feeding off pirates and conducting raids into the Free World's League. In 3025, its 3 battalions were allocated in the defense of St. Yves, Maladar, and St. Lawrence. You know, when we first arrived at St. Lawrence, I loved the place. It's an agricultural world, sort of a breadbasket for the neighboring systems. Green fields, rolling hills, you get the picture. We just walked out of hell on Kittery. The Fed rats drove us out in 05 with our tails between our legs, so it looked like paradise to us. I remember kicking back in the mech bay, my feet propped up on an engine block, sipping on a stiffer of ambergris vermouth. Not a bad way to spend a sunny afternoon. Kittery. Previously under Capellian control, in 3005, this inhospitable jungle world was conquered by the Federated Suns. The resistance movement kept the world a war zone for many years. In 3020s, House Lao returned and waged war for a more permanent liberation. So far, it has only succeeded in creating a lasting enmity between the defending First Kittery borderers and the invading forces of the St. Ives Armored Cavalry. Fedrats. A person living in or whose national origin is the Federated Suns. Considered derogatory. Oh, great, so I'm a Fedrat. And ambergris vermouth. Ambergris vermouth is red and usually found in tiny bottles in port shops. Getting larger bottles takes connections. Getting a crate of it, well... Anyway, it turns out the Federated Suns weren't done with us yet. We were barely a month into deployment when they sent the SETI Hussars to burn us out. I'm sure there was sound strategic reasons for House Davian to want St. Louis, but it sure felt personal to me. The SETI Hussars, created by the Federated Suns in an effort to replicate a light-style horse regiment of the Star League era. The combination of mechs and mounted infantry was ideal for conducting swift raids. The Stars also encouraged personnel to dine together regardless of rank or branch of service, prompting high re-enlistment rate. House Davian, by Freedom's Sword. From their capital world of New Avalon, the Davian family led the Federated Suns to become one of the largest and most militarily powerful states in the Inner Sphere. The Federated Suns' motto, by Freedom's Sword, illustrates their self-image as a nation. The champion of freedom, democracy, and human rights, though the reality is not so clear-cut. In addition to being a military power, the Federated Suns is home to the New Avalon Institute of Science, the premier research and development center of the 31st century. Long story short, one of their scouts managed to slip through the perimeter and hit my mech bay. I was tinkering around in a Centurium custom-made rumble seat at the time. Being surrounded by all that armor is the reason I made it out alive. Still, I didn't make it out unscathed. Lost two of my favorite assistants in my own right arm, and I got this ugly thing grafted onto me as a reminder. Rumble seat. An optional secondary passenger seat that can be built into the control area of a battle mech. Rumble seats are positioned away from all the control systems and ejection equipment. Those who ride in them have no control over the mech itself, and utterly at the mercy of the mech warrior in the cockpit. So it's basically riding bitch on a bike. And yet, here I am, doing mercenary work for a living. Some people never learn, huh? Why'd you leave the Capellian Confederation? After my tour of duty was up, you mean? I don't know, it was just time for a change. Besides, the place wasn't for me anymore. In a way, it never really was. I learned a lot from my time in the service. Got a first-hand view of the elitist bullshit that saturates Capellian culture, how it rewards high-born idiots at the common people's expense. Speaking as a thoroughly common man, that didn't sit right with me. When my tour of duty was over, I walked away and never looked back. You never really get away from aristocracy, Hank. Hell, I was born a noble. Yeah, but you're a competent noble, and you aren't afraid to get your hands dirty. At the end of the day, that's all I really care about. I wonder how many times I've watched talented engineers get passed over for promotion so some idiot with a title could advance. Too many to count. For what it's worth, I'm glad you walked away. You brought my mech back from the brink more than once. Way more than once if memory serves. Still, I appreciate the kind words. For what it's worth, I'm happy to be here with this crew. Going career military would have been an enormous mistake. In your position, I probably would have done the same. Let's talk about something else. Yes, let's. This has been a fun trip down memory lane, but I'm sure we've got more important things to worry about. I gotta get back to it. Talk to you later, Yang.
Come back anytime.
Alright, so here's the barracks. Here's the roster. Oh, this is where we spend XP. So, the abilities what we can get are... Okay, so the pips are where we get upgrades. That's probably extra HP. So gunnery purchases us multi-target, which allows us to do breaching shot. Piloting allows us to get evasive movement and ace pilots. Guts allows us to get bulwark and juggernaut. Unfortunately, that also takes up an action, but then again, I'm also going a tactician route, so... I'll sit on that for a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do have a spare. He very much seems like a pilot kind of guy, so let's make him a full pilot. Complete training. Confirming this ability selection is permanent. You may only have 2 primary abilities and 1 specialist ability, and mech warriors cannot be retrained. Oh, okay, so we can only have 3 abilities in the end. Well, that makes sense. They're all right there. So I probably want to be a tactician, given I wanted to build in that direction. But then afterwards, what do I want? Because I can't get ace pilot. Oh, hey, it actually... Service record.
Waiting on you, Commander.
That's actually kind of cool.
Commander.
What can I do for you?
Oh god, she's a criminal. Alright, so I actually need to sit down and figure out what I want.
Stand.
Good to...
Aye, aye.
I either get bulwark, evasive movement, or multi-target. To be quite honest, I'll probably go multi-target. This is you, the commander of your mercenary company. You cannot be killed in combat, can still be injured and otherwise sidelined through normal means. So first things first, I'll get my sensor lock.
Training complete.
Tactician. Effective at spotting targets via sensor lock and taking better advantage of indirect fire opportunities. Weapon minimum ranges are also improved. So then I'll start bumping up my gunnery. So I'm not completely as trash at shooting things.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Good to go.
We'll make him a light strike unit.
Mech warrior training complete.
Commander?
You're going to need to sit for a while to increase your gunnery.
What's up, boss?
And you need to sit for a while to increase your guts. Looks good to me.
You've got questions? I have answers.
Always good to see you at Ops. Always good to see you at Ops. Can I do something for you? I want to know more about our debt situation. Yeah, sure, that's fair, and I'm glad you're taking an interest. I've got time to get into the nuts and bolts of it if you do. What do you want to know? Remind me why we took out so many loans in the first place? How much time you got? I mean, we've been hit with 1,000 expenses since we were forced to flee Coromdir. But I guess you're mostly interested in the big ticket items. First and foremost, there's the Leopard. We still owe a lot of money on this ship, and losing her isn't an option. You got the assorted fallout from our impromptu trip across the frontier. Jump ship passage, docking fees, miscellaneous travel expenses, all paid for on credit, as if we had a choice. There's more that I could get into, the loan we took out to set up Markham's family, etc. That'd be gilding the lily at this point. The fact is, we're in a lot of trouble with a lot of lenders. But hey, we're mercenaries. We live for trouble. Who are we in debt to exactly? I want names. How about I give you the top three? First, you got Blue Horizon. That's the big commercial bank on Lyraton. They're the ones that own the lease on this ship. Then there's the Injury Consortium. They've got people everywhere, but they're based somewhere in Marek space. We borrowed from one of their associates to make the jump away from Koromadir on the day of the coup. Lyraton, a system of the Arugan frontier. Lyraton was formerly a Capellian garrison world, lost after the Second Succession War. The population of Lyraton is spread across 3 tropical moons of the system's large gas giant. Each moon is independent, and the civil conflict between the moons makes the system a tense and dangerous place. Marek. House Marek. We stand united. The Free Wills League, the oldest of all successor states, has been ruled by House Marek. The League is an open, multicultural state consisted of many great and small realms loosely joined together. Politically fragile and frequently riven with instability, House Marek has relied heavily on free trade and technological advancement to keep pace with its rivals. Finally, you've got Lock-Owned Lending. They're a frontier outfit from Hastur, and they're about as crooked as they come. Now, I normally wouldn't do business with an outfit like Double L, but we didn't have a choice. They made a deal with Blue Horizon to buy half our debt. So that's the big three. A commercial bank, a shadowy fiscal consortium, and a bunch of leg breakers in cheap suits. Each one of them is dangerous in its own way. That's enough money talk for now. Let me ask you something else. Be my guest. What do you need? I got some questions running this company. Sure thing. I'd be happy to help. What do you need to know? Remind me what I need to know about mercenary contracts. Outfits like ours depend on the Mercenary Review Board to post certified contracts working for reliable employers. I say reliable, but let's face it. Most jobs come down to us doing work that the rich and powerful can't be seen doing. Mercenaries are deniable assets. We travel from system to system, picking up jobs, making ends meet. Sure, space travel costs sea bills, but some employers are desperate enough to pay travel expenses for mercenaries willing to make a few jumps for a gig. What intel will I get about a contract before I accept it? Most employers will give us enough info to understand who we're fighting and why. Some are cagier than others, but by and large, they want us to succeed. Because of this, we generally get enough intel to get the job done. It isn't a perfect system, but it works well enough. There are a few key things you need to look for in a contract. First, you need to understand what type of mission it is. Next, you should account for the climate conditions of the area of operations. Finally, it's important to know what the expected strength of the opposing force, or OP4. Vital, even. Tell me about the different types of missions we may be offered. In my experience, most contracts come down to one or more of the few basic ideas. Blowing something up, taking someone down, keeping something safe, or making a mess with heavy ordnance. There'll be variations here and there, sure, but for the most part our jobs are going to fit into one of those categories. Giant bipedal weapon platforms aren't exactly known for their subtlety. Tell me about climate conditions. If you're not watching climate conditions, you're not in full command of the battlefield. In most environments, you gotta watch your mech warriors, weapon fire, and jump jet use. They don't overheat their battle mechs. Badlands and deserts make your mechs run hotter, so you're gonna want to pay careful attention to what you're fighting there. Low atmosphere, non-terraformed planets are worse. It'd be wise to swap out some energy weapons for ballistic weapons in those environments or pack on some extra heat sinks. But the vacuum of lunar environments is the worst. It's counterintuitive, I know. Space is cold, right? But no atmosphere means no heat dispersion. You're sitting on top of a fusion reactor. Use your jump jet sparingly or you'll shut down in no time. All that being said, frozen environments are like heaven to our mech warriors. The heat from weapons fire and jump jets dissipates at a much greater rate, and you'll have maximum options on the battlefield. Tell me about the difficulty of a mission. It's important to have an idea of what you'll be up against once your lance hits the ground. Fortunately, mercenaries are often on the ass end of mission intel. The most we'll get is usually a rating of the enemy's overall strength. At best, a mission's difficulty rating will give us an idea of our post-mission repair bills and medbay time, or a signal that we should avoid the mission altogether until we can bring bigger guns. As a general rule, we should field the heaviest mechs we can on a given mission. Bigger isn't always better, though. Speed and mobility are more important on escort and other missions where flexibility is as valuable as firepower. I'll try and give you a heads up when we're offered missions like that. Let's go back a second. Yeah, of course. There's going to be a lot to take in, I know. Go back and forth as many times as you need to. Say the word. Can I withdraw from a contract? Absolutely. That's a great thing about being a merc. It isn't our fight. We're here to make money, not to die for a cause. You can back out of the contract negotiations at any time with no harm done. Once we deploy on a battlefield, it gets a little trickier. If things start going sideways on a mission, you can still withdraw to save on repair bills and med-bay time. But it may still cost us. If we withdraw before achieving any objectives on destroying at least one enemy, the Mercenary Review Board will rule it as a bad faith withdrawal. Not only will we not get paid, we won't get any battlefield salvage either. Plus, our reputation will suffer, both with our employer and with the MRB. Now, if we withdraw after achieving an objective and destroying at least one enemy, then the board will rule it as a good faith withdrawal. Our pay will still be reduced, but our reputation will take a hit, and that's what's good for business. One last thing on the subject. If one of your mechs is getting banged up bad and it looks like the mech warrior may not make it out alive, you can order them to eject during combat. Samara will fly suborbital and recover them. We'll scoop up their mech after the mission. Tell me about reputation. A mercenary's outfit and reputation determines the quality of contracts we're offered, the quality of the mech warriors we're willing to hire on with us, and the deals we get on weapons, mechs, and equipment at most local stores. Most employers won't offer us the really juicy contract until we've proven ourselves over time. Once our rep is solid, we'll get access to some high-paying gigs with opportunity for some serious battlefield salvage. Why is salvage so important? If C-bills are like blood, salvage is like the food of a mercenary company. Something like that. I don't really do analogies. Let's just leave it at salvage is good. Here's why. Salvage allows you to replace components you've lost or upgrade your mechs to better suit your combat tactics. If you don't end up needing the salvage you get, you can always sell it off at the nearest store. Salvage rights are a time-honored tradition in mercenary trade. Figuring out who gets what at the end of an engagement is a vital part of our business. In addition to C-bills, most contracts will offer salvage, reflected as a ratio like 2:10. The first number represents how many priority salvage items we get to handpick after a battle. The second number is the total number of salvage we'll get, subject to the whims of our employer. You can negotiate salvage rights for every mission you accept, so keep it in mind. How do I negotiate a contract? Mercenary contract negotiation is pretty straightforward out here in the periphery. It's all based on the golden triangle: C-bills, salvage, and reputation. C-bills are the coins of the realm, so to speak. We use C-bills to pay for travel expenses, upkeep on our ship, salaries for our crews, repairs or refits on our mechs. C-bills keep us flying. Salvage is part of our take too. The more salvage we take off the battlefield, the fewer C-bills are deposited in our account. The fewer C-bills we ask for, the more salvage we can get. Now, you may want to take less money and less salvage in order to increase our reputation with the party offering the contract. Yeah, it'll cost us now, but the investment could really pay off later down the road. Tell us how how our finances work. It's pretty simple, really. Every 30 days, we have to pay the crew and cover our regular operating expenses. Upkeep for the mechs we have ready in the mech base. Upgrades for our equipment. Things like that. So we don't have enough C-bills to cover our operating costs at the end of the month. Our fiscal report comes due, we're out of business. Merc life doesn't allow for second chances. Remember that when you're ordering weapon refits and ship upgrades, and make sure to reserve enough to cover our monthly nut. I'm sure this is obvious, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How can I raise the operating costs of our company? Obviously, the more mech warriors we hire, the more we got to pay out each month. Nevertheless, it's a good idea to have a strong bench. You never know when someone's going to take one in the meat and be out of action for a while. Any upgrades we make to the ship will have upkeep costs too. Yeah, there are advantages, but there are advantages that require ongoing maintenance, and that costs C-bills. How can I lower our operational costs? Well, for starters, considering putting mechs you don't plan to field for a while into storage. Although it'll require time and C-bills, refit their equipment and ready for them for combat. Store mechs have no upkeep costs. By the way, remember that you can sell mech chassis and equipment if we're ever low on cash or you see something shining in the store that you just gotta have. Anyway, back to operating cost. You can always dismiss a mech warrior if you're having a hard time making payroll. Every month you get to decide how generous to be with their pay. Careful though, mercenary salary has a direct effect on their morale. Alright? Let's talk about my mech warriors. Sure, what do you want to know? How much do I need to worry about their morale? Mercenaries aren't members of the Royal Guard, Morikage. They're in it for the paycheck, not loyalty to some noble house. Because of this, keeping their spirits up is important. Mech warriors with high morale get inspired more often on the battlefield. The Reds are in the game, and inspired warriors can create opportunities. I've seen inspired mech warriors make precision strikes I thought were impossible, focusing their fire at one location on a speeding enemy, as if it were standing still on a shooting range 25 yards away while wearing a sign that said, "Shoot me!" in neon green. Inspired mech warriors show amazing vigilance, too. They seem to have an uncanny ability to blunt incoming damage and have heightened reflexes. They act faster on the battlefield. Amazing stuff. On the other hand, I've seen mercs with low morale up and leave an outfit like ours without warning. Sometimes you'll see it coming, sometimes you won't. So yeah, you need to worry about their morale. You're the boss. What sort of control do I have over their training? Mech warriors gain experience in every mission they complete. You can chart their training and guide their development in 4 skills: gunnery, piloting, guts, and tactics. As they become stronger in a particular skill, your mech warriors gain access to special abilities that can be used in combat. The first ability is the Mech Warrior's Specialization. Mech Warriors can only have 2 specializations total, so pay attention when you're training them. The first 2 they acquire are the only 2 they'll have. The second ability is from the Mech Warrior's Expertise. Mech Warriors only get 1 of those. It has to be from one of their specializations. Whatever the expertise they learn first is the only one they'll have. So 3 warrior abilities per Mech Warrior. That's a lot of possible combinations. You need to decide for yourself which abilities work best together according to your command style. Nearly every skill increase grants a minor boost to some facet of combat performance. Mech warriors become more accurate with ranged or melee attacks, can keep their mech stable longer under sustained fire, even take more injuries before being incapacitated. Hell, they can even get better at taking called shots when the opportunity comes up. Do more experienced mech warriors require higher salaries? Wouldn't you? As mech warriors grow in skills and abilities, their salaries grow with them. It's possible to hire skilled mech warriors in the hiring halls of the systems we meet, but they'll have a higher salary requirement than mech warriors you've trained yourself. Alright. Any general info you'd like to share? Things happen on a mercenary ship. All the time. You throw a bunch of mech jockeys in a confined space with technicians and crew for months on end, you're going to see some spillover from the battlefield. And operating a merc outfit isn't a glamorous lifestyle. There are hard choices to be made on a regular basis. Anything from breaking up a fight over petty bullshit to dealing with a faulty power coupling. Still, I wouldn't trade this for just about anything. We go where we want, we fight who we want, we only have one god we obey, the mighty Seabill. Well, and you, I guess. Yeah, it's the merc life for me. All the way to the end. That's enough instruction. No problem. Not a problem at all. You got a few minutes to talk? I'd like to catch up. Sure, I've got time to talk. Before any of this started, you started with the Arano Royal Guard. Tell me about it. It was more than just a deployment. It was a full campaign. High Lord Damati gave us the job back in 19. We were supposed to be assisting the Royal Guard to round up and eliminate a pirate clan on Fjaldir. Commander Markham thought it'd be easy money. Turned out to be anything but. Fjaldir is originally a Capellian colony world, lost in the succession wars. It's a bleak ice planet, swept constantly by howling winds and blowing snow. The original colony was largely underground, built into the sides of the kilometer-deep wide shafts that breach the ice that envelops this world. Fjaldir survives on its rich mineral resources and is positioned as a well-connected hub world near the inner sphere. We lost a dozen mech warriors in the 3 months of the Fjaldir campaign. Had to hose them out of their cockpits. Would have been more if it wasn't for Sir Raju. He saved our people's asses on more than one occasion. Went out of his way to do it. The thing is, he didn't have to. We weren't under his protection. We were the hired help. A lot of people in Master's position would have used us as cannon fodder, but that wasn't his way. He treated us as if it was his own. He was a good man. As good as they come. Tell me a bit more about yourself, Darius. Where are you from? I grew up on Nassau Heights. It's one of the HAB stations orbiting R2. 30 decks of economic stratification with corporate suits on the upper decks and everyone else crammed into the lower ones. My old man was a dockhand. We lived on Dock 28, 2 levels up from the bottom, with the other station maintenance personnel. 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, my dad would load and unload cargo shuttles, vacuum sealed Qualar and nutrient paste for people like us, and luxury goods for the suits upstairs. The old man must have unloaded 1,000 cases of Castilian eel roe, plump, succulent eggs the size of melon balls. Never got to taste any, though. Any one of those tins would have costed him half a year's wages. Quillar, a bioengineered crop that serves as staple foodstuff of the inner sphere. Quillar looks like an ordinary grain, but grows to twice the size of Terran corn, and be textured and flavored to mimic a wide variety of fruits, nut grains, and vegetables. Cassidilian, Cassilida, an aquatic world famed for its bountiful, deadly oceans. Cassilia's human population is clustered on volcanic island chains along the equator, while the oceans are ruled by a vast array of native predatory life forms. Castilian seafood is sold as a delicacy throughout the Rimworld periphery. Anyway, I don't want to saddle you with my life story. Suffice to say, I got an eyeful of what I didn't want on Nassau Heights, and I did what I could to change my circumstances. At the age of 16, I struck out on my own. I left that station with a handful of skills, an enormous web of contacts, and a rucksack full of that expensive caviar. And once I made it off of Nassau Heights, I never ever looked back. Gotta run, Darius.
You know where to find me.
Don't worry, we're finally fucking done with all that lore. Partial mech salvage. Locust. Okay, what kind of stuff we got? Machine gun ammo, LRM ammo. Big laser. Autocannon 2. I'm not really digging any of this right now, so whatever.
Kick off your shoes. Make yourself comfortable.
Alright,
Come on in.
let's get to work. Contracts. Patrol. We believe there's American lands operating on Bethron, within a region we control. All local government operations are at risk as long as this lance is allowed to move unimpeded. Patrol the area, find the enemy lance, and eliminate it. This should be a straightforward battle, Commander. Finding a military lance in a backwater like this should be no challenge at all. No salvage, but lots of money. You know what? I'll go for 2-8. Seems like picking up stuff is going to be more important than paying for things. As long as we can keep the bills in check and, say, dump for one big contract every once in a while, we should be in good hands. So yeah, I'll take a 2-8. Focus more on getting stuff than having gobs of money. So we're fighting in the desert, however. The desert biome is a rocky, windswept wasteland with little vegetation and little water. The extreme heat makes it more difficult for mechs to sink heat. Fields of crystalline mineral deposits interfere with targeting systems, making it harder to shoot into them, as well as shoot out of them. Let's go.
Calculating course now, Commander.
Engines primed. All hands prepare for transition to thrust gravity. Docking sequence commencing.
Shakedown. You're on the Leopard's Bridge with Sumair, Yang, and Darius for the daily staff briefing. Darius says we received three messages from the banks. Loan shark, Sumair cuts in. From the people who are financing us, Darius continues. They're considering rewriting the terms of our loans, so it'll be easier to seize this ship if we miss a payment. As usual, they're only doing this because we can't believe we can't fight it in court. You know what? The banks. Yeah, let's sweet talk the banks. I'll talk to them, you say, and the meeting moves on. Afterwards, you record a response. In it, you explain with much gravitas that you selected each of the banks for their prestige and reliability. You remind them of your impeccable payment history. You conclude by expressing your desire for a long and fruitful financial relationship with them, hinting that you might seek additional loans when your current ones are paid in full. A few days later, the banks contact you to say their previous messages were sent in error and should be ignored. Your company has gained the following tags. Loan status fair. The company's credit is currently rated as fair by the banks financing the Leopard, which should at least deter them from sending bounty hunters after you. So wait, can I actually check out how our denominators are? Hold on. It's under like reputation, or no, that's not it. I should probably save the game. Probably doesn't auto save. Oh, it does. Okay. Does it get tagged under me, maybe? No.
Standing by.
Yes, Commander.
So where do I go check out the status of my company? Oh well. Let's spend a few days to fix up our stuff.
That work order you submitted is complete.
Good. What do they got in the store here? Locust, Panther. Panther's decent. Spider mechs are. So what else they got? Ammo. Jump jet smalls. Heat sinks. Medium laser's not terrible. Nothing really good for sale, though, so let's get the contract underway. Alright, so let's get our stuff all out of the way. Oh, we can have the Vindicator. Oh, wait, we have a Locust? Huh. Anyway, I'll pilot my Blackjack. Medusa can pilot the Spider. Glitch has her Vindicator. Behemoth has her Shadowhawk. Okay. Let's get to work, gentlemen. Deploying now. 175 tons. Succession Wars destroy Starleague factories, making battle mechs hard to maintain and produce. Much now is lost tech.
Command interface initiated.
Got him, Commander, right out in the open. These guys are amateurs. Get eyes on them and take them out. Good hunting, Commander. Olivieri out.
Ready for orders. Got it.
Got it. Moving out.
Receiving you. Confirm.
The music's really somber, damn.
On the move. You betcha.
Got it. Commander.
Reserve.
Confirm.
Engaging jump jets.
Standing by.
Engaging jumps.
Waiting for orders. I leap. I soar.
Orders.
Stay up high and don't get where you can get shot immediately.
Aye, aye. Here we go.
Person up.